negotiate reforms on Homeland Security funding. Will the House follow the Senate's lead and vote to keep the government open?
Well, it was a meaningful step in the right direction. Certainly the separation of the 5 bipartisan bills.
Yeah, he's an ass. It is what it is. It's harassment, plain and simple, but that's who he is.
Need to move forward. And
hey, Rachel, haven't seen you in a minute. How's life been?
What is clear is that the Department of Homeland Security needs to be dramatically reformed. We share that view, as does Leader Schumer and Senate Democrats.
I think he does.
Different ways. Body cameras should be mandatory. Masks should come off. Judicial warrants should absolutely be required, consistent with the Constitution.
Oh, you know, living the dream.
Agents or ICE agents are breaking into the homes of the American people or ripping people out of their cars. We need to make sure that there are complete and independent investigations so that when ICE or DHS agents break the law, they are held accountable.
His name is Jackson or Stephen Glenn or Matilda, whichever one he chooses to use.
In our view, but by state and local authorities. And we need to reiterate that the detention and deportation...
He sits with Dawn and them. Hey, Meg. What's up?
Everyday Americans or violently target law-abiding immigrant families needs to be off the table.
That's a list of serious reforms. Will you vote to keep funding Department of Homeland Security for the next 2 weeks as you negotiate those reforms?
Well, we're going to have that conversation later on today and as we return to Washington. But the one thing that we've said publicly is that we need a robust path toward dramatic reform. The administration can't just talk the talk.
Exactly.
That should begin today, not in 2 weeks, today.
But can you get these reforms?
Taking a down day. I finally am back to work right tomorrow. Pray for me. This is the first job, not the second one.
How can they be enforced?
The administrative warrants, in our view, aren't worth the paper they are written on. This is an extreme administration, unleashing brutality on the American people using taxpayer dollars. So we
get through to next Thursday, and I'll be straight on my own to cover shit. Thanks God. I'm just a little bit longer.
Democrats in the House and the Senate need judicial warrants. More importantly, George, it's a perspective held by the American people.
Hey, dog mom.
Even if you get the agreement with Republicans in the Congress, can you trust the administration to actually enforce the changes?
This is one of the, well, you're absolutely correct that this is an untrustworthy administration. They've been lawless from the very beginning. It's one of the reasons why we need to actually build these strict requirements in terms of behavior into the law so that the courts can hold them accountable and the American people, through their representatives at the state and local level, can hold these individuals accountable.
Oh, my Lord.
You know, from the very beginning of this effort, with respect to the Department of Homeland Security, our premise has been simple, that ICE agents should conduct themselves like every other law enforcement agency in the country, as opposed to running around mass thugs, in many instances, unleashing brutality on law-abiding American citizens.
Yes.
And violently targeting
I'm watching This Week with George Stephanopoulos.
A 5-year-old boy with a superhero backpack. That's not the type of violent felon that the administration promised they were going to target, and the American people are rejecting it, and we're going to stand on their side.
Let me turn to the Epstein files. You heard Deputy Attorney General Blanche say this is over. They've released everything. They've just about everything they're going to release. They're going to allow members of Congress to look at these unredacted files as well. So is it over?
It's not over, and it will not be over until there is full and complete transparency as demanded by the survivors so that there can be full and complete accountability. This is a basic premise here in the country, and there are more than 3 million documents that are being withheld by the Department of Justice.
I'm glad you caught that.
That has to be asked, that the American people are asking, is what are they hiding from the American people, and who are they?
Release the files, bitch.
This was a law that was passed by bipartisan majorities in the House and in the Senate, reluctantly on the Republican
I am literally yawning so hard my eyeballs are watering, guys.
And it was even signed by...
I think it's time for a toe dab. I gotta shake myself up.
The demand is simple. Comply with the law so that we can achieve the type of full transparency and visibility for the American people about all the wrongdoing that occurred and ensure that there can be accountability so that something like this reign of terror Never happens again.
On the Epstein issue, as you know, the House Oversight Committee voted to hold President Clinton and Secretary of State Clinton in contempt. 9 Democrats voted for that resolution.
What's everybody got planned for tonight?
This week, you said you're against.
I figure probably about noon or 1 my time I'll get on TikTok, guys. So that's like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Return, I think our view
I'll probably get on TikTok. We'll spend Sunday afternoon. I'm so proud of you. You bought yourself something, Kendra.
so that their testimony is offered. With
You never buy yourself anything.
and James Comer, the so-called chair of the Oversight Committee, he doesn't just take yes for an answer.
I'm fucking proud of you.
Put it between upper
Which one did you get?
and to have recorded testimony so that there's a track record that everyone can subsequently evaluate. The notion that they're going to go after Secretary Clinton and
So much for your nap.
with criminal contempt. In other words, this is sort of a lock her up approach. Seems completely
Yay! You got a purple one. I love it.
is to actually try to get the information as opposed to create a political spectacle.
Do you think it's possible they can reach an agreement before the House votes on contempt?
Yes, and I'm very hopeful that an agreement will be reached so that the testimony can be adduced and the chips will fall where they may. The Clintons are ready to testify. Actually made clear.
Yeah, it was. Why you gotta call me out? So now I have to take another one. What is wrong with you?
The National Security Advisor to the U.S. made an investment in the Trump family.
You ain't even over here taking dabs and you calling me out.
There's been several actions taken with the UAE. He says there's no conflict. How do you respond?
Of course there's a conflict. We have issues of priority as Democrats that we want to work on behalf of the
I love it.
One, we have to drive down the high cost of living, of course, because America is too expensive. Trump promised to lower costs on day one. Costs have gone up. Housing costs out of control. Utility bills, electricity bills totally out of control. Healthcare costs, of course, childcare costs, all of it out of control. We need to do
Right. Right, at all. I just got called out. Now I have to take another dab. Elbow my nose first. He doesn't care. He's bored. He's a bored little short man.
Oh yeah, but man.
Not you. Jackson. He keeps coming in the room.
Oh, and you're fucking. My.
Yeah, we don't give a fuck at all, bud. We know you're watching. You're obsessed. It's cool. You want some shoulder? Ooh, there you go. Weirdo. Better be careful. That motherfucker put that shit in his spank bank.
Why is Donald Trump focused on enriching himself, his family, and his friends, as opposed to focus on driving down the high cost of living? Why is he focused on destroying
Right?
the house, trying to extort $230 billion from the Department of Justice, or promoting his life?
He thought I was talking shit because he called me out.
Why is he focused on brutalizing everyday Americans by unleashing these mass agents in American communities as opposed to doing his job? Like, the American people, George, have had enough. The question is, when will the Republicans have enough with this failed presidency?
Mr. Terry, thanks for your time this morning.
Thank you.
Roundtable's up next. We're back in a moment.
Kendra said, I love that Devin thought we were talking about him.
That thing you do, you better do it fast. This killer's underestimating you. Good. They won't even see you coming.
What now? We get him.
Get this, people. Now we're streaming every weekend, right to you.
With an all-new show and all-new view, special for the weekends. Now you can catch the view 7 days a week. I wonder if you can handle it.
Yay! For real?
It's the Weekend View. Streaming on ABC News Live, wherever you stream.
Yay!
Enjoy the Weekend View. See you on the weekend. Now streaming Saturdays and Sundays on ABC News Live, wherever you stream.
I've learned something.
Try to get myself ready to get back into the swing of working a mid shift. Your girl likes her third shift, but the hours are presented themselves on second, so here the fuck we are. It is what it is. Let's be real. Your girl goes where the hours are. Was that your butt that just did that?
Yep.
Dear God, sir. What up, guys? Toadap time.
Roundtable's here and ready to go. We're back in 2 minutes.
Hey kid, give us a beat. Make it nasty.
There we go. Toadab. Now it's Devin's turn to come take a dab and see if maybe that helps his stomach. It'll help express it out of his stomach.
Dap me up.
He said, dab me up. What up, guys? That's probably because you've eaten a shit ton of grease in the last couple of days. Fool, your stomach's like, what is this real food you eat? I love third shift, but the hours aren't there right now, bad bitch. And it pisses me off, but it is what it fucking is. I talked to my boss. I let her know this one paycheck, a fucking thing from one job isn't cutting everything I fucking need. So, like, I need to get back to work on my good job. And she was like, I got second shift hours. And I was like, well, I guess I work second shift now. Like, that's the fuck how it worked. I love third shift. I prefer third shift, less management, less bullshit. You tend to act a little bit up on third shift, let's be real. Hey, Joe. Y'all know that when you work third shift, you act up a little bit. You tend to act up a little bit on third shift. Tell me I'm wrong.
Let beauty take your breath away.
Based on the discussion I had with the governor and the AG,
Absolutely.
looking for public safety threats being released.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Much less people, so the drawdown is going to happen.
You keep pulling out immigration enforcement agents out of Minnesota.
It's a lot more lean back. There ain't no big bosses in the building 99.9% of the time. Let's be real.
And New York Times opinion political correspondent Michelle Cottle. And Chris, let me begin with you. It looked like at the beginning of this week, given what had been happening in Minnesota after the killing of Alex Buddy, the administration was going to pull back out of Minnesota. Every day that goes by, it appears that's not the case.
No, look, I think what they're trying to do, which is kind of typical, is they're trying to manage the PR problem, not the actual problem. What really concerns the president here is, in my view, not what happens
Who is this?
around in Minnesota, but how he's viewed by the rest of the country.
Why the fuck you look so fat and old now?
Approval ratings of his administration. And so,
He looks
never
exact
by
same.
his life did I think Tom Homan would be seen as a
I feel like he's fatter.
But that's what he sends out there to be the common influence in Minnesota, which tells you two things. One, how out of control Bovino and that group had gotten, that Homan could actually be perceived that way. And secondly, that there's going to be really no change in policy here, because Tom Homan is the architect of this policy.
Well, you say no change in policy, but we just heard down in Brazil, we just heard two deputies laying out the demands that Democrats have for the kind of changes they expect to see. It's really hard for me to see how they're going to come to an agreement on that in the next 2 weeks.
The only way they can come to an agreement if they can once again get back at the table and the Democrats agree to help the Republicans out. Look, I think the common sense demands that the Democrats are asking for are demands that the American people want. They want to make sure that their cities are safe, their country is safe, but they don't want ICE officials, many of whom are not vetted properly, without adequate training. If they're not
Absolutely, Miss Donna.
enforcement, they cannot achieve the mission that the Trump administration is trying to have.
This has broken through the American people. Immigration had been the president's best issue. Now he's underwater.
People were not expecting this kind of response. I mean, this
We
is
were.
what Democrats
We were.
in terms of getting
Hold on,
guardrails on
who knew that when Trump unleashed ICE on our streets like military that this was going to happen? Can I get a hand in the chat or a yes in the chat, please? When Trump released ICE on our streets like they were military, who knew that this was the inevitable outcome?
is that the Trump administration has dialed back their plans for an operation in Maine. So it's not
It's because they almost ended up in the woods. Don't lie, bitch.
this chaos can spread, and they do not like that.
Susan Collins took credit for that. Republican Senator from took credit for that pullout. How much pressure is the president under from Republicans in Congress right now? It's actually kind of hard to read.
A great deal. Republicans are spooked. I got an email from a very senior committee chair, Republican member of Congress on Monday who's very pro-Trump, who said, I don't know how to talk about this. What should I do? They don't know how to talk about this, and it's not what they want to talk about. And so when you deal with a president who is a chaos agent, Donald Trump's communications is blunt force trauma. He does not do subtlety.
No, he does not.
They're struggling with, how do I talk about this issue? That's not what I want to talk about.
Melanie did. Okay, I thought it could have just been me. I see some things other people don't sometimes. But I knew this was the inevitable outcome.
This week, talking about the Trump accounts for children. But we haven't talked about it. We've sort of forgotten about it because everything is this
I've
issue
been
now.
telling you guys.
So how do you leave Republicans on Capitol Hill dealing with the demands of Democrats to keep the Department of Homeland Security funded?
Look, the biggest problem is how do we keep the government open? And clearly, moving forward, 2 weeks from now, we're going to come to a place where we don't have answers, and we're still trying to figure out what the right questions are. And that's where Republicans are struggling.
What's one of the other things you're seeing here, Chris, and I talked about it a bit in my interview with Deputy Attorney General Lance.
Oh, Lord, bootlicker.
Is getting rebuked again and again and again from judges, even Republicans.
Dude, it's so easy to just remove you from the live, Jackson.
Conduct.
Grow up,
You
bro.
know how much trouble he has to do?
Yeah, he has to uninstall.
Just
I'm just removing him from the live, waiting
that
to
shit is hilarious. He has to go through all that trouble to just come
come
back,
in here. Yeah, it's weird.
uninstall, reinstall,
Use a different email.
and then wait and then motherfucking use a different email. That you're only gonna do it so many more times.
Right.
And now what you're seeing are judges are saying, no, this is not the way you conduct law enforcement activities. Not that the actions are not legitimate in terms of wanting to remove certain people from the country, but the way they're doing it is something that is repulsive to the American people. And Trump knows, one thing he can read is how people are reacting, and I think that's why you're seeing.
But George, the number of American citizens who are being abducted, the number of American households that are being broken into by ICE officials, the number of Americans who are being stopped. Look, when I see a cop behind
And
me,
and I also want to make an announcement on this.
Okay, well, don't turn the radio down. I'll mute it from here, because when you turn the radio down, it takes forever to get it back
I'm
up.
gonna go fucking turn it back up here in a sec, as soon as I get done talking. As many people have been getting arrested, you gotta remember, more than 90% of these fucking families probably have a home pet. And now we're taking these families and destroying them, taking them away, and then
Leaving their
having
pets at home unattended.
and then until fucking
The community has to step in.
or
They die.
somebody actually steps in, hopefully, and finds them, and motherfucking the shelters are gonna be at high capacity all over again.
kind of great campaign to showcase your ICE agents. You don't need to go back to a well that has already kind of sent a signal that you're soft on crime, lets the administration paint you as soft on crime, that sort of thing. Just move on from that. So yes, be careful.
Is the government going to stay open?
Oh,
No.
I have no idea. And I don't think leadership has any idea at this point.
right.
And
No.
where we were a week ago is not where we are today.
Hey, Jesse.
We know Donald Trump can change the story and what we talk about 10 times between now and then.
No question about that. Gotta take a quick break. We'll be back with all of you in just a minute.
I've learned some really hard truths the hard way.
I think Jackson needs some help mentally, professionally.
And I am the girl who was accused of murder. I got treatment from the media, but the media did not put me in prison. He did. So I went back to confront the man who put me in prison face to face. I think I'm a little in shock.
How's everybody's Sunday going?
We're streaming every weekend right to you with an all-new show, an all-new view, special for the weekends. Now you can catch the view 7 days a week. I wonder if you can handle it. It's the Weekend View. The weekend
Box office numbers for Melania's movie.
streaming on ABC
Busted.
News Live, wherever you stream. Take a little time to enjoy the Weekend View.
Now streaming Saturdays and Sundays on ABC News Live, wherever you stream.
It made $7 million and they spent $40 million with rights. So they spent $75 million on the movie and it made $7.
It's impossible for super
Wow.
individuals to perform in major motion pictures.
I'll never work again if anyone found out.
Marvel Television's Wonder Man. All 8 episodes now streaming, only on Disney+.
Well, what are you? Oh, just trying to solve the mystery of how to get to the damn crime scene.
Special Agent Will Trent.
We don't have much time.
That thing you do, you better do it fast.
This killer's underestimated.
That's crazy.
Good.
Yay, that sounds yummy, Jacqueline.
What now? We get him.
Oh, my shoulders, dude.
Murder mystery. Sex,
I'm gonna go take a shower before I go on TikTok. But we're gonna be on TikTok between 12 and 1. I don't know exactly when yet.
Lamp says it's over. Hakeem Jeffrey says it's not over. The victims say it's not over. Is it over?
It's never over, George. This thing will never end. And it all goes back to, I'm interested to see in the release, the original prosecution memo to Alex Acosta, who was the U.S. attorney in Florida when this started in 2007. I was in office at that time. And I remember when the Epstein case got resolved, so many of his fellow U.S. attorneys were like, what?
Even that?
Yes. Because when you saw the nature of the allegations,
All right, you guys, I'm gonna go grab a shower real quick, and then I will talk to you guys soon. Love y'all.